Welcome to episode 16 of Manifest Mondays. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Very excited about today's episode. Today's episode is cryptocurrency a phase or the future? That is the $1,000,000 question. We have special guest Ellie with us today. Everybody,
Ellie, man.
shout out to Ellie, man. She's a really dope person. Someone that I've known for years now. We've all known for years now. But specifically, she is a Mexicana who grew up in Denver. She spent some time in Miami, and now she has returned to the 303, the Mile High. She's a person very passionate about financial literacy, investing, and freedom beyond money. She's currently working in real estate and online ventures. So with that being said, want to give a warm applause for the one and only Ellie.
Come on, man.
Welcome to Manifest.
Shout out to Ellie,
Shout out
man.
to
Come
Ellie.
on, man.
Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate you tapping in with us, Ellie.
No, I'm really grateful that I was invited to Manifest Mondays. And yeah, I'm just here to share what I can and hopefully just inspire some people to continue manifesting their dreams or manifesting new dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but before we get started though, let's get right into it, right? What's your, most people, right, when it comes to cryptocurrency, most people are like, oh, crypto is a scam, right? It's not real. Like, what's your thoughts on that when people are saying that? What do you tell people when they say that crypto is a scam, that it's not real? What do you tell them?
Well, number one, I would say is, where are you getting this information from? Like, why would you say that this is a scam? Who told you this, right? Did your neighbor tell you? Did your friend tell you? Like, where are you getting sources from? And number two, it's something very new. I always say, okay, when about it? Okay, you just heard about it last week. You just heard about it 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, cryptocurrency is something maybe not super new. It's been around for, since before 2011, but just as of 2016, 2015, maybe just these last few years, it has been getting more popularized and just expanding globally. But it's still very, very, very new. I mean, I think some statistics that I saw from before is we are at the age of crypto like if we were in the age of the internet back in the 90s. So, back in when the internet was on, the same thing was happening. People were saying, oh, what is that? That's a scam. Nobody's going to be hopping on that. Like, why would I want to waste money on it? And everybody started hopping on. So the same thing as like emails and anything that is digital, right? Because currency is that's what it is really. It's like a digital currency. It's something that exists online. It's not necessarily tangible, just like the internet and email, etc., etc. So I mean, even in email, people still get scammed with email, right?
Yeah,
that's a fact.
It's new.
That's a fact.
We need to learn how to use it, right? We need to know how to decipher if it's real or not. That's what I would say. Is it's so new that there's just so much more room for growth, and you really need to maybe just do Google Crypto 101 and you can learn a little bit about it, and then from there see what it's really about.
Absolutely. Google knows all, right? So I guess to people who are new to it or are wanting to learn about it, I think they struggle the most is just like obviously not being in the know. So if you were to describe cryptocurrency to somebody, like if somebody was just like, what is cryptocurrency? Like, how would you go about, I guess, defining that?
Yeah. So how would I describe cryptocurrency? I would say, again, it's a digital currency, just like, you have a dollar in your bank account. It's digital. I mean, probably that dollar does exist somewhere printed in the bank or somewhere, which, note to self, less than 20% of the money that the bank owns, they actually have tangible.
That's a fact.
So, but let's just say it's very similar to that. So it's online money, it's digital money, but it's housed on what is called a blockchain. So what is the blockchain is, it's like a code or a software where that money, not only every time that money is transferred or created or anything like that, there's not just one transaction online. There's multiple transactions verified by different sources that validate that this Bitcoin or this Ethereum or whatever cryptocurrency is real. Versus in the bank, when you go to the bank, it's only you and the bank. So you have the bank. and that they're being real with you, versus in crypto, it's decentralized. So there's not one central location like a bank that tells you how much money you have or processes the money. It's decentralized, where there's multiple people, computers, nodes that are connected, that verify one transaction. So that's why cryptocurrency is something quote unquote revolutionary, because it's more transparent. There's no way for you to falsify or claim that you made a transaction that you didn't, because there's multiple different verification processes that it has to go through to be able to be on the blockchain, or like embedded into the blockchain.
Right.
And I guess a key word that I didn't really say is cryptocurrency is decentralized. So I just want to add a little bit more to that. Is again, it's like a bank is a central bank, literally, central, everything goes to that one bank. That's why it's closed Saturdays and Sundays. It's closed on the day, like today, President's Day. And the cryptocurrency is decentralized, where there's multiple computer networks throughout the whole world that are running 24/7, 365, basically. And let's just say one computer goes down, there's still hundreds of thousands that are up there that can help verify these transactions. That's why it's available 24/7, 365, and you don't need one individual to process it. Like, you can just put it on the blockchain and then it'll be verified.
Yep. You bring up a couple good points. That is decentralized, right? I think the reason why I'm invested in crypto, I've been in crypto probably like the last 4 years, 3 or 4 years. And a big reason why I got into it was because I do believe that there is going to be a change of currency, like with everything becoming digitalized, right? And you brought up a good point earlier, is when you get your direct deposit from your job or wherever your income comes from, you don't see the physical money go into your account. You just see I now have an extra balance of like $2,400 in my account, kind of thing. But you don't actually like physically see it in your account. Like even all the money that you have access to right now in your account, it's not like you physically can just go and grab it, kind of thing. You have to go to the bank, like there's multiple transactions that happen with that. The thing I love about a decentralized currency, it's not tied to any government, right? It's not tied to any nation, like for instance, like the US dollar, or, like the pound, like all these things, like they're tied to an economy. So like a big reason why I became a believer in it is because it's not tied to any like economy. It's not tied to any particular like city, any particular state, any particular entity, any particular nation. So like regardless if like the US crashes, or like like if the economy crashes, Bitcoin's still going to be doing like what it's supposed to be doing, because it's decentralized. I think that's a big reason why I became a believer in it. But also from an investing standpoint, another thing that you mentioned that I'm really glad you touched on is the fact that it is an all-around market, 24/7, 365. That's the thing. That's the piece that I feel like a lot of people miss, is like that's a game changer, is with investing in stocks, right? People always tell you to invest in the stock market and stuff like that, but you can only trade from 9 a.m. like to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, excluding holidays and weekends and whatnot. Whereas I can invest into crypto at any given moment, like all day, like it doesn't matter. And so I'm really glad that you touched on those points, because those two reasons alone are what made me a big believer in cryptocurrency, and why I am so excited and such a huge advocate of it, moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, just connecting people worldwide even more, because right now, to send money to Mexico, to send money to wherever country you send money to, it's a little difficult. There's a lot of fees. And yes, right now with cryptocurrency, fees are still relatively high. They're not as high as if you were to go send $10,000 with the bank. But that's what it's also bringing. It's bringing more global connection. And even like in times of crises, for example, you mentioned the government, like, I think it was when Russia was invading Ukraine, who knows how long ago that was, right? We're on the next world event. But when that was happening, a lot of people, banks were shutting down, properties were being demolished and everything, and a lot of people, they didn't have access to their Russian money or the European money. I don't know what currency they had. So a lot of people, they were using cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or Ethereum, to be able to do transactions, to buy food, to get a vehicle, to do these things, to be able to survive, whereas they couldn't do that before because their banks were shut down or whatever situation was happening. So it's just it is definitely connecting people and just making things easier, as well as, you know, helping just people all over the world be able to have access to like a bank account, but it's unavailable because I forgot the statistics, but it's way less than half of people in the world have a bank account. I don't remember the exact stat, but obviously here in the US, most of us do have a bank account, but like, again, cryptocurrency is worldwide, so we have to think about it as how it serves everybody. Like people in South America that never had a they do have crypto wallets where they can accept payments, do transactions, and just do services or take money in with that, whereas before they didn't have a bank account at all. So
Yeah, that's right.
it helps connect everybody.
Absolutely. Like, is that a big reason why crypto, when you like, what from your own personal, like your own personal story, what I guess influenced you into getting into the crypto space?
So, I mean, honestly, I just started getting into crypto, like personally investing into it in 2020. So I would be, let's just say, more of a newbie compared to you, like maybe 2019, 2018. Who knows when you got in? But if you did get in before, then you've gone through a few cycles, right, up and down. But I found out about cryptocurrency in 2019, but I didn't really think anything of it. It was just kind of like a way for me to do quick transfers of money versus me doing it in an account, because I also do day trading and to fund accounts. You know, just moving money is not as simple as we think it is sometimes. So that's how I learned about it. And then in 2020 was like, that's when everybody was talking about it. Everybody about crypto. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Everybody was talking about XRP and all of these cryptocurrencies. And I got excited and I started getting into it. And good and bad, right? Overall, it was good because I finally started getting into investing in this new asset class that's new, but it will be here for many, many years. And I definitely bought a lot of coins at the top, right, where prices were a bit higher. And I mean, they went up, they continued to go up and down. So I saw my crypto portfolio go up, go down, go lower than it was. I went through that intense cycle. But the good thing about it is the way that I got into crypto was, okay, this is something that I can invest and I can leave in here for 10, 15 plus years. This is to enjoy and have fun with in the future, maybe for my kids, but it's not something that I'm going to cash out, you know, next week, next year. That's how I started. So that was something good. But I know a lot of people, they come in with the idea that, oh my God, crypto, you can 10x your money, you can 100x your money. And a lot of people took out loans or just put in a lot of money from their savings that maybe they shouldn't have. And that then the market started going, people start getting scared and they're like, you know what, let me pull out my money before I just lose it all. And it's like, before you get into crypto overall, I would say is just take a few classes, you know, try to go online, try to figure out what you're really getting into. But in any asset class, whether it's crypto, stocks, just open up a little chart online and just kind of see where the price is relative to the last few years. And if it's pretty higher than overall than it's ever been, you might want to wait a little bit unless you're thinking long term. That I got in is for long-term investing, because I know that this is something for the future. I thought as, what if I got into investing into Facebook, Google, you know, these bigger companies back, where everybody was like, oh, these social media companies, these internet companies, like it's a bust, right, in the 2000s. And you know, the biggest companies, number one companies in the world are these companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook. And, you know, in the early 2000s, those were like the worst stocks to pick. So for me, it was like, okay, like this is my turn to get ahead and start investing into something new that will be here for the long run. So that was my reason.
Absolutely.
I want to just throw something. I want to connect to a point that you said, because you said something big that kind of, it was like the aha moment for me when I started getting into crypto. Is like you was talking about like tech companies like
Right.
Google and you know what
Yeah.
I mean, Apple and stuff like that. When crypto started making sense to me is when I kind of like separated it from being just a currency and understanding that it was the technology
Right.
behind it was I was also investing
Yep.
in, right? So like you said, blockchain and just, you know, verifying transactions in a new way. I
Yep.
heard a lot of different people talk about what that can be in the future, right? And that could be verifying, you know, people that are in the shoe culture, you might just verify that's just real Jordans or something like that. You might verify that somebody's able to owns this house, maybe even, you know what I mean? Or like you know, everybody, you know, people still get scammed with like music tickets, right?
Right.
So what if you could, you know, what if that technology to verify transactions was placed into different things that we already use? And that's where it started like making sense to me. Like, okay, I'm not just investing in the currency and hoping it goes crazy. I'm like investing in the technology in
Mm-hmm.
it. You know what
Yep.
I mean? And these technologies can be integrated in places that we already use.
Absolutely.
And that's where it finally started making sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you touched on investing in tech companies early and these
Right.
being tech companies at the same time.
Yep,
So
exactly.
that's evident.
And I mean, obviously, you guys are into music, right? And even with music, it's another way where it's a decentralized way to have to house a company to see, okay,
Right.
where all the money's coming in, this is all the wallets that are receiving royalties, commissions, payouts, whatever. It's transparency,
Mm-hmm.
A fact.
and
Absolutely.
that's the biggest thing. And yeah, like you said, the cryptocurrency, like the just being a coin, that's good, right? That's cool. But like technologies was really gonna be moving this forward. Just like I work in real estate right now. So for example, if I'm gonna buy a house or have somebody buy a house from me, that is an existing home, we have to go to a title
Right.
company, look at the title of this home and verify the history, like who owns it now, who owned it before
Right.
that, who owned it before that.
Mm-hmm.
They have any liens on the house, like you know, all this information that they have to go looking online through books. And if we are able to, you know, integrate the blockchain, real estate into blockchain, we will be able to just quickly pull that up and be able um, falsify or damage or change any of it because it's already on the blockchain. So
Right.
any sell my home tomorrow and it's on the blockchain, I won't be able to change it, say it's still mine because it's already on the blockchain. So yeah, I agree. It's more the technology, and it's already being used. Like for example, Starbucks is somebody that's already starting to use this cryptocurrency or the blockchain is using the blockchain with their members. So if
Oh
you're a
well.
like Starbucks member, you're able to sign up online and you're able to do like little challenges and courses
Mm-hmm.
that are housed on the blockchain, and there you get like rewards and stuff.
Oh,
So
that's
I
fine.
think it's already happening, but at a small
Yeah.
scale. And the thing is that the word blockchain, the word cryptocurrency, it could be terms that can scare people
Right.
away.
Well,
Reality is it's just a technology that we
mhm.
can just put like behind the website. It doesn't have to be so like forward like for people.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. And I'll add one more thing real quick is I went to this I'm going this year. It's called ETH Denver. It's a cryptocurrency event. Like a lot of people come in, they're just
Oh,
talking.
send me the
Right.
information on that too, man. I
Yeah,
might have to pop
no,
out. You know
I
what I
went,
mean?
happening this month already, and I got to witness you know, different founders of different blockchain companies, and a lot of them are talking about same thing. Is just being more transparent with the funds, even if you have like a nonprofit, nonprofit business or anything. It's just that transparency and being able to cut out that middleman and just being able to manage
Right.
your own funds. Also, even like with and going into back into music and into artists, being able to pay them more for their streams, whereas you have like, you know, Sony or whatever big company taking out like most of the profits.
Right.
those things are coming. I know I don't actually remember the names of those few different companies that already have artists that are working through the blockchain and getting their music out through the blockchain as well.
Yeah.
But I'll get that information for you guys so you have that, at least you guys can look
Come
into
on,
it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
I need that. I
Yeah.
need
Yeah,
that.
we're
Yeah, I need that.
we're big on
No, that's right.
wanting to attend some conventions
Right.
this year. So like, like Denver
Yeah,
sounds like
I'm here, so I definitely would love to check it out. And quick question though, you mentioned a lot of pros about crypto, but what do you think some of the negative, the cons, or things that overall we can see some improvement going forward with overall cryptocurrency and the
Mhm.
blockchain?
Yeah, well, the first thing is going back that it is decentralized, so there's no one person, like there's not one central bank that you can go to. So if you have your Wells Fargo account right now, right,
Right.
and you forget your password to log into your bank account
Mm,
to make
Mhm.
a, you can call up Wells Fargo, you can do something, and they can help you
right.
out, right?
Mhm.
Because the company, they're the ones that manage it. Whereas in cryptocurrency, in like Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever wallet you're using, Solana, you are the holder of your own
Yeah.
account. Like,
Wow.
Yep.
oh,
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so if you happen to forget your password,
Yeah. It's right.
there's no backup. There's,
Damn.
I forgot my password. Let me do it again. No, like it's you. That's that golden key that you
Yeah.
cannot lose.
Damn.
Yeah.
A
Damn.
big thing that's happened to, I mean, a lot of people that I know. It happened to me too, but it was just a little bit of money, so it was like I don't really care.
Damn.
One of, but
It wasn't your life savings in
no,
there.
no,
Huh?
it's a lot. You lose this,
Yeah.
and
Can
that's
never
it. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
recover it
So
again.
what?
yeah,
Damn.
It's
So this is a big piece to hit on right here. So when
Right.
people do get these keys and passwords and stuff, what do you suggest to them to do with that? Like
the
where should say write it?
key, don't put it in your phone because your phone is gonna get stolen or
yeah.
you're gonna lose it.
Right.
Right.
Your phone. Definitely write it down somewhere, like in a specific maybe book or journal or something that you can hold on to, or maybe put in a safe if you have a safe. But
Yeah.
it has to be something that most likely will be tangible. I mean, I personally save mine online in a like the two-factor authentication email, and I have
Gotcha.
so that's another thing, is making sure that your phone has passwords, that your emails have passwords, because just like the scamming emails back in the early 2000s, now what's happening is there's a lot of scams happening that people are trying to get into your wallets. So if you have your wallet on your phone and somebody takes your phone, or somebody has, I don't know, some special technology that they can just tap your phone with their phone or with something and extract the information from your phone, like it's very possible. If the biggest tech companies in the world are getting hacked
Wow.
for user information, like more than likely there's a high chance that you can get hacked on your computer, your laptop.
Mm,
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is that, yeah, save that on a piece of paper somewhere. I personally have it on paper and online in my email
Hmm.
account, but my email account has two-factor authentication, and just those little things that help, and trying not to have the same password for everything,
right.
right? I think that's just general cybersecurity,
Yeah.
is not having the same password for everything, having passwords that are a little more complicated than just words, or like actual words, like, oh, like February, or like instead of spelling something out, it's better for it to be
Yeah.
random.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, yes, in general, but yeah, that's one of the things, is
So
Yeah.
Jim.
security, that. And same thing like on your laptops, like it's best to do all your cryptocurrency buying, purchasing and stuff on your laptop and not on your phone, because again, we just lose our phones all the time, and
Right.
it's just better to keep it on a laptop that stays home,
Yeah.
that um
Yeah. And,
where.
and I'm glad you touched on that, because like customer service is such a big thing, right? Customer service, it's like, oh, like, yeah, I need to be able to chat with somebody right now. Like, will help me figure this out right now.
Yeah.
Right.
We've all obviously become like so accustomed to that mindset, right? It's just like there's somebody who can help me out with this,
Right.
but that this is just a new technology. Like there's so many precautions that they want to take, because it makes me think of that guy, Stefan Thomas. He is a millionaire, and he had like, I can't even remember what the figure was. I think he had access to like $25+ million in Bitcoin, but his wallet key. This was back in 2021, and you only get 10 guesses. Like, and after that, it's like ever. I know that there's people like there's these wallets out there that are just sitting there with like literally millions of dollars that they can't access because they forgot their wallet key. And it's not like just go hit up customer service and be like, yo, like y'all need to help me figure this out. You can't scream at anybody over the phone and be
it's on you.
Yeah.
Like you're literally, like you said, the golden key is in your hands, and like that's a great thing, but it's also a very dangerous thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. Don't you think we need like a decentralized customer service then?
I mean,
Hey, man.
I love that personally. I'll be like, hold up, man. Like,
I don't know, man. Would they have access to my wallet? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
that's the thing, right? It's just like it's slippery slope, because like to that point, like with cybersecurity, that person, that agent who's helping you, they be like, he can't get in here, but like I can.
Right.
And there's $27 million in here right now.
Okay.
Right.
Me, logically, I'd be like, you know what, sir, I can't help you. And I just like, I'll take that wallet for myself. I'd be like, I don't know what to do.
I'm not seeing any money in here, sir.
Yeah.
But just to add another piece to what you were saying, as far as like it being decentralized, another piece is it not being like insured, right? So like if sometimes you might be trying to send it to a place, you send it to the wrong wallet, or trying to send it to your other wallet. It's gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like if something happens with the bank, a lot of times you can call them up and be like, hey, these transactions weren't real. Somebody stole my card. And they'll refund it up to a certain amount. I think it's 250,000, right? Not with crypto. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too, is you got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're moving money around in the crypto realm, you just got to be super specific and check that thing 3-4 times before you send it out. You know what I mean? That's what I would add to that for sure.
Yeah.
And now, like, a big piece that you guys talked about earlier was technology, right? And I think that's a big reason why crypto has, like, it carries a certain connotation, is because people just don't understand it. Like, it's such a new concept that like people always are very, very hesitant towards anything new, right? People don't like change. Like I think about it. I saw this video on YouTube that explained cryptocurrency. It broke it down in like layman terms, and it was like such a brilliant, like, but simple video. Just like, can you imagine like when you like went from bartering to then exchanging coins, and it's just somebody hands you a silver dollar, and it's like, this is supposed to be worth $1. This is supposed to be worth 4 chickens, and it's just like, what am I going to do with this?
What am I going to do?
What am I supposed to do with a coin? Like this can't. Could you imagine what like that thought process? If somebody handed you a coin and be like, yeah, this actually is worth 4 chickens, I'd be like, bro, get that out of my face. Like I can't do nothing with that.
Give me my goddamn chickens back, man. Stop playing with me.
I don't want your damn coin. I don't even know what this is. But it's the same thing. Same thing, like same logic. Like when they went from coins to then dollar bills, like to notes. Right? Like it's just, like this $1 bill is now worth 4 quarters, and it's just like, bro, what are you handing me? I ain't never seen this before in my life. Like, like I don't even know what to do with this. Like, so I think it's that same logic, right? It's just like when something's so new, people are always going to resist it to a degree, because it's just like I don't like, most people don't like change. Most people are very routine. They like things like the way that they have been for years. And that is the thing about it. Cryptocurrency is so heavily based on technology, and like also another reason why I'm a firm believer in it, because technology is going to take us to the future, right? It's already gotten us this far. It's only going to so you got to be ahead of the game, like in order to like really succeed. Same thing with AI. Like I think there's so many like pieces in today's world that 20 years from now are going to like completely revolutionize and like completely change the whole everything that we know. Cryptocurrency is one of those things that I believe in. But I do think, to that point, that's the reason why so many people are so resistant towards it, is because they just understand it. And honestly, probably most people don't even care to learn about it. Like my mom is a prime example. My mom is not tech savvy at all. My mom is
Right.
approaching 70 years old. She's like, the last thing I want to do is figure out like, hey mom, you want to learn about crypto? Hell no. What do I want to learn about that?
Right.
Like, my mom can barely access her bank account like on her phone. So like I don't even know what to do with it. So it's like, some people are always going to be resistant to things like that, you know. But I think it's important for people like us to have these conversations and whatnot, and like just learn about these things, because the technology is the future, and cryptocurrency is going to change the game, and I genuinely
Right.
believe that.
Right.
Personally, I'm a firm believer in Ethereum. You know, P and I, we talk about it all the time. I think Ethereum is going to change a lot of things. I mean, Bitcoin has already has, but I think that Ethereum blockchain is capable of so much. So I personally think I'm a firm believer in that. And you talked earlier, Ellie, about your like ups and downs in the investing in the crypto space. I experienced a lot of those highs and lows as well. Like I knew about Shiba Inu like before it, and like I was at this space, I was just like, you know what? Like they call them shit coins, right? Like, you know, like
Right.
they're just shit coins, right? Like you just like kind of like, it's one of those things. It's almost like a penny stock, right? You know, like it could go to the moon, it could go to the grave. Like you just don't really know. Like it could go either direction. But Shiba Inu, I don't know. Like there was just something about it. I was like, oh, this is the one. You know, I dropped $500 into Shiba Inu. Less than a year later, I looked at my account and it was over like $12,000, and I was just like, "Yo, this is crazy." But guess what? I didn't cash it out. I held, and then it went right back down. Like it went back down to like 2,000. I was just like, "Damn, I should have cashed out. I should have cashed out." You know, we all have moments like that, right? You know,
Yeah.
like when it comes to investing, there's so many ups and downs.
Right.
But to your point, Ellie, like it's about the long term. You know, like at the end of the
Right.
day, like it may not be something overnight. It may not be something a year from now, but 10, 20 years from now, you know, who knows what that looks like. And
Right.
honestly, I think that's why another reason why people are so resistant is because people lack patience. You know, we live in an instant gratification world, like where everything has to be now, you know, and so people are like, I don't care about like $2 million 10 years from now. I want like, you know, like $50,000 tomorrow.
Right.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
but to that point, I mean, that's the game of investing, right? You know, I don't think there's, unless you're gonna hit the lotto, like there's no really like guaranteed way to like make some significant cash or whatever overnight. But I think when you get to thinking long term and understanding what this is truly gonna do to revolutionize everything, you know,
Right.
like a lot of things we talked about, you know, yeah, I think a lot more people will come around to it, you know, like, and it
Right.
already is becoming a lot more
Right.
popular, but these conversations I think are what are necessary to in order
Right.
to continue to broaden our horizons.
Yeah, and I think definitely like what you said, Zenas, is nothing is gonna give you a quick buck. Like you said, nothing is gonna be an overnight thing. It can,
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
that you can, but you have to be ready for that, right? Just like you said with your your shitcoin investment with Shiba, you did not cash out, you know. So like first, number one, if you're gonna get into any investment at all, whether it's crypto, real estate, stocks, ETFs, anything like that, like you have to get educated at least a little bit so you
Right.
can understand all like
Yeah.
right. And if you're getting educated just a little bit, maybe think about, okay, maybe I'm just learning about it. Let me invest this.
Right.
It's going to be a long-term investment. So I still have a little bit more time to, okay, let me see what I got into. Should I keep investing into it? Should I deviate my investment? But you got to figure out if you're a long-term investor, if you're a short-term investor, and like if you, and even whatever you are, if it's short-term, long-term investor, you really have to figure out, okay, oh, sorry about that, guys. You have to really figure out what is your exit strategy.
Right.
So let's just say I'm putting $1,000 here. If that $1,000 turns into 2,000, am I gonna I just doubled my money,
Right.
right? Should I get there? Should I take it out? Like maybe when I'll take it a little bit and leave the rest in there. Maybe when it triples, like especially in cryptocurrency, we always hear people 20, 100xing their money.
Right.
But what if it doubles? Like what
Yeah.
if you double? That's already a win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's already a win. A lot of people come into crypto thinking they're gonna, like I said, 100x money, but like they don't have that extra strategy.
Yeah.
So like maybe 3x your money. Okay, once it's 3x, I'll take out my initial investment
Yep.
of $1,000. Maybe I'll take out a little more, and I'll do the
Yep.
rest, right? At least cashed out some. Or maybe you're like, okay, once it 4x's or 5x's, you know, like I'll take out majority of it and leave it some in there. You just really have to know, okay, when you're coming in at what
Yep.
price. Let's just, you know, Bitcoin's at like 50,000 right now. Let's just say you got in 1,000. You know, when Bitcoin gets to 70,000, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
When it gets to 80,000, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
have that plan and know, okay, my money already, you know, 3, 4, 5, 10x. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Be ready to cash out. A lot of people actually don't hold Bitcoin long term because they rather go through these waves. They rather, you know, okay, my money 3x, I'll take it out,
Right.
and then I'll wait for that wave to come down. And that's true, but it's you know, nobody can time the market perfectly. Nobody can.
Right.
You literally can.
Like, show me
Right.
something that has exactly sold all of their crypto at the bottom and exactly, you know, I mean, bought at the bottom and sold it at the top over times. You can be close to it, right? But there's so many things that affect this world economy that are out of our hands, like wars, famines, you know, COVID, like all these things. Nobody, you know, that, you know, it could hit and it's over. Like, I don't know. Have an idea of what you're going to do with your money. And then the money that you are investing, make sure that it's not money that you need to pay your mortgage. Make sure that it's money that you need to pay your mom, you know, back in a year and a half. We just never know what's going to happen. So we don't want to be tied to this money. That's being like, don't be tied to the money that you're putting in. And again, whatever money you're putting in, just be ready and know when you want to take it out. Because then we see, like Zenas' example, that he saw, you know, right? He saw 5 figures of money in that account, and now he's like, "Oh, what if it doubles even more? And what if it's even more?
Yeah,
you know, great.
Yeah,
You know,
I regret that decision. Yes.
So,
we've all done it though.
You know, once you get a little more knowledgeable, you can have multiple portfolios. You can have one portfolio that's long term, like, okay, this is my grandkids' money, right? Because if your kids are playing Roblox or any of those games now, like, they're gonna be using crypto to buy their Starbucks in the future, right? So you can have your portfolio that's for your kids. Maybe you can have a portfolio that's, you know, long term, 10 plus years, and then after that, then you can start making a portfolio that is more short term. You know, that you're riding the waves. Like, oh my God, Bitcoin is up at 100K. Like, let me take out that money because now with money, I'm gonna buy a real estate property, right? Like, one, moving the money. Obviously, it takes work, but that's what I would say is have one investment that's long term, have another portfolio that's maybe a little more short term, and if you want to be super risky and you don't care about your money, then you can definitely invest into meme coins, for example, like Shiba and stuff. Those are things that really don't have like a purpose. They're just like kind of there. You know, maybe eventually it will have some type. I mean, the purpose is community, right? Depending on, you know, there was another coin, I forgot even the name, the Pepe coin. It was like a frog. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's funny.
That they had a great community. You know, when I was living in Miami, they held a lot of like community events, and it was really about bringing artists together, getting people into the metaverse. So just because it's not like a coin or it doesn't have like this big great technology doesn't mean it's not good, but it's not like maybe the best investment for your money all the time. So if you are getting into these coins, just know like, hey, I got this extra couple $1,000, like I didn't go on my vacation and I'd rather see what happens here and want to gamble it, then go ahead. But yeah, with those, if you're getting down at the bottom and then spec up, like definitely cash out, because most likely the people that created it, they're gonna cash out and they're not gonna come back and try to do more.
History always repeats itself. What goes up must come down. Like things can't go up forever. Like everything like has to come down at some point. And shout out to Nick. You know, Nick Nick dropping some gems, man. But you touched on it, Ellie, is like there's rules of investing, right? You know, like one of those big rules is only invest what you feel comfortable losing. Because at the end of the day, you know, like if it goes to the moon, great. But if it doesn't, if it goes the opposite direction and it goes to the grave, are you comfortable losing this $1,000 that you just put in there? Or $1,000 to pay your rent? If you need that $1,000 to pay your rent, don't use it to invest in anything. Honestly, you
Right.
go pay rent first. Like that's the first thing you should probably do. So only invest what you feel comfortable losing,
Right.
but also having an exit strategy, and that's just a big thing too. Like, you know, that's something that I've really had like come to learn in like the last like 2 years, like in certain instances of being in these positions of like having huge
Oh
gains,
yeah.
not taking advantage of them and not exiting properly, you know, and holding too long, you know, kind of thing. And so, you know, I was a part of the Wall Street Bets friends, the whole diamond hands thing, and it's just like, oh, I'm holding till I die, baby, you know.
Diamond really put up his hands like these.
Like,
Diamond hands. Like,
we
that's
were part of that. We were part of that.
but
To the grave or to the moon.
we going to the moon, baby. We going to the moon, or we going to the grave. And guess what? It went to the grave. Gotta say,
he
and
said,
it's just
I didn't been to both, baby. You know what I'm saying?
anybody who's been in that game, you know, like whether it be investing in stocks, whether it be day trading, you know, like trading options and stuff like that,
Right.
whatever it is, like you come to learn, like your best lessons come from losses.
Right.
Honestly,
Fact.
like it's so easy to win. Like people love winning, but like your toughest lessons come from losing.
Right.
Like, and it's
Fact.
those losses sting, man. Those things
Yeah.
sting.
Yeah.
It's just like God,
Because it forces
you're sitting.
you, it kind of forces you to figure out why this happened.
Right.
If you win, you're just like, shit, that was dope. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, I
You
could
know
do
what
it
I'm saying? But
again.
when you lose big, it's kind of like, no, what happened? Like, what am I doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that's a fact.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Turning those, like you said, turning those losses into lessons. Like in crypto, like it's a lesson that you're gonna learn, and like you said, it's very new. It's very new for most people, and
Right.
best of traders, the best analysts, they also make mistakes. They
Right.
also so if the people that spend 40, 50 hours a week doing this also make these
Right.
mistakes,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're all prone to them. So like,
Right.
don't be so hard on yourself, but like just
yeah.
prepare before it happen.
Be educated, you know. But we will obviously want to keep things moving, you know, because we want to be mindful of everyone's time, especially yours. What are your thoughts on NFTs? You know, I know NFTs were a huge frenzy
Right.
for a solid 2 years, and those things crashed harder than ever.
Yeah.
The NFT space is damn near dead and gone at this point. But do you think there's still a lot of potential in that space? Like, what are your thoughts?
I believe there's still a lot of potential. Again, I think it's something that Ramond was touching on before. Is like, okay, how can I know that this, Rolex is original, or how can I know,
Right.
I don't know, type vehicle, like super exclusive vehicle is real or it's not? Like, is it really the third car ever made in the world or whatever? Like, I think that technology is still gonna be there through the NFTs, so you can show off like, hey, look, this is the Rolex that I have,
Right.
and this is basically like record of it. So I believe that it's still gonna be there. In terms of like being an art for like a digital art, I
Right.
believe we're still in the beginning. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the metaverse, right?
Right.
Have you guys
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
movie Ready Player
Oh,
One?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
absolutely.
that's one of my favorite movies in the last 10.
I actually just watched it. I watched it like a week ago or something. They
Really?
had to watch it like, so many years ago, and
What is it called? What is the movie called?
Ready Player
Ready
One.
Player One.
it's
Okay.
yeah, Ready Player One, and it just talks about gaming and how, and basically the metaverse, and how the metaverse is really like more into gaming
Right.
right now, and that's really what's gonna keep pushing you these next 5 to 10
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
And those worlds that are being created, these metaverses that are being created, they're gonna need art. They're gonna need people to create the space, and a lot of that is gonna be through NFTs. And I think that it just went so high up, the NFT space and the NFT craze during the COVID lockdowns,
Right.
that people got a little bit like, they're over it now and they're on to the next thing, which is AI. But I think NFTs are still going to be a thing for sure. I mean, there's still a thing, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's going to be more,
Yeah.
more into either art,
Yeah.
Right.
or like the metaverses, and in like the real world use case will be more for like verification. Like, okay, I have my NFT for my house. Let me transfer. And now my house is yours once I've transferred the NFT, or to prove that my Rolex is real or anything, any type of things like that.
Agreed.
Versus a piece of paper that I can
Yeah,
probably.
I want to just add to something that you said, because you hit that on the money with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think the big thing with NFTs is with some of them, you are seeing them move towards real case, real use case, right?
Okay.
And that was big. What you said earlier is like building those community around things that have real use case. So I seen something, an NFT that I think they're called D Gods, right? And what they did is they have a community, right? But they bought a team in the Big Three, right? The Big Three is Ice Cube's basketball league.
Mm-hmm.
So they bought a team. So now if you're a holder of one of their NFTs, you have ownership in that real world team of that thing. So, you know, I'm seeing some of those NFTs connect to real world things that really can, you know, and that changes everything, right? Because then you know where your value is. It's like, you know, anything that you can create a community around and create value within and then connect it to real use case. I feel like that in general, that's like the bottom line of any investment that you want, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so those components, man, they live in NFTs like they live in stocks, like they live in real estate. It's like if there's value in it, you know, people see value in it as a community, then there's value in it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And metaverse space is going to become huge, man. Like, it's going to be like Sims almost in real life. Like, for instance, like digital real estate, like owning real estate in the metaverse is going to be such a big thing. You know, Ramond actually put me onto that. We actually own some property in the metaverse. You know? we actually own some property in the metaverse. But
in which universe?
I can't recall the I forget the community, but yeah, I don't know. I have to look. I have to actually go to like my wallet and look it up again. I can't recall. That was a while ago that we bought. But I think that's going to be a huge space. Is like, you know, like owning digital real estate and, you know, stuff like that. And but moving things along, what are your own like personal favorite cryptocurrencies, if you have any? Like, you know, like for whatever reason, like it doesn't necessarily have to be like either you just like, yo, I just want to ride this out to the moon, baby. Shiba Inu, that dog, my dog. You know, so like is what are you invested in?
I invested a lot into Polkadot because it's also basically another blockchain, and it's much cheaper processing than the Ethereum network is. And with Polkadot, they made it where it's easier to build, like in the technology, easier to build on top of their network. So for them to be able to expand and have other people using the network is much easier. Whereas in Bitcoin, you could only do Bitcoin with and the Bitcoin blockchain, right? With Polkadot, I think that one it's made for more people to be able to build on and just easier. And another favorite of mine is gonna be Bitcoin because it's an OG. It's the OG.
It's the OG.
And, I think it's just unique that there's only 21 million Bitcoin that are ever gonna be. It's just kind of like having that part of owning a part of history, kind of, because we're right now, like history is yesterday. History was 5 minutes ago. So like history is happening in front of us. So I think those are the two big ones. And something that I also got into is actually Coinbase. I know that it's more generic, more basic, but Coinbase, what it's doing is helping the regular person get involved and start getting into
Absolutely.
Networks that it's a little harder to understand. You've got to get on your computer. You got to connect this and that, and it's a little more confusing. But with Coinbase, they're just making it so much simpler for the
Coinbase is for that reason. I mean, Coinbase even offers like free cryptocurrency to you. Like they offer like where you can and once you like complete a lesson, you're rewarded with cryptocurrency. Like it may not be a lot. It might be.
What do they give you? Like Shiba Inu?
Yeah, but we know your favorite crypto, Diamond.
Man, Shiba
that
Inu
boy
is my dog.
Diamond hands in the Shiba.
Well,
No, but I was gonna ask Ellie though. You didn't even mention. What's your thoughts on the Ethereum? Right, it's not one of your top. It's not one of your favorite. What's your thoughts on
I
that?
mean, it's not my favorite just because it's second to Bitcoin, you know. Just
Right.
but it is very
Second a big
And
question.
it's just second rate to Bitcoin.
no. But I mean, you would consider, you know, like a Bitcoin and Ethereum as like blue chip companies,
Right.
like
Yeah,
the
Right.
yeah,
main one. So
Right.
with Ethereum, the thing that I like is now they've updated their system. Now they have like ETH
Right.
2.0. I forgot the name. Like,
Correct.
they're working and they're improving to make it better. And there is somebody that is, you know, heading that basically company, that cryptocurrency is, you know, Vitalik and his people.
yeah.
So there's somebody there that, and they are trying to make the system better and they are improving it. And I mean, NFTs and all of that, you know, they were mainly done on the Ethereum network.
Right.
But now, you know, they're now on like Solana and other networks. But the thing with Ethereum is that they are, you know, have been innovative. They have been innovating, and I mean, they're number two. They're just not number one,
Right.
you know. But
Right.
It was
like,
not a winner and three nobody
yeah,
remembers. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But there are
yeah,
some times that people think that Ethereum, that might be a point that Ethereum gonna like, surpass Bitcoin. Do you ever see that happening? Because so many people may like, like they did some research to figure out like, oh, Ethereum is at this price right now, but in the future we can see Ethereum being the main cryptocurrency and Bitcoin being second.
Hmm.
Like,
yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
I can definitely see that because I mean, Ethereum right now is what, like less, is like under three
Yes,
thousand
on the
dollars.
three,
It's
yeah,
at
yeah,
50, right?
Yeah.
And Ethereum already services way more, like has a little more use case, like into NFTs, and now they have their .eth, which is like their decentralized like web pages. So Ethereum definitely, I think it has potential to go up there, but it's just it's like I said, the fees are already kind of high with in Bitcoin and Ethereum too, and that's why.
right,
And there was my friend. He was selling some of his NFTs, and he just wasn't paying attention to the gas fee, and like he lost
Yep.
money in a transaction where
mm,
he was supposed
Yep.
to pick his NFT.
Yeah.
So that's why I like about Ethereum is that they are trying to improve
right,
and getting better.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but I think it's a while to go. I think it has a while to go, and Bitcoin's that bitch. So
where's
Bitcoin, huh?
but
yeah, I hope that you know, because Bitcoin eventually is not going to be really referenced as like, oh, give me your Bitcoin. It's going to be like the Satoshis,
yeah.
like the micro
Yep.
Bitcoins, the 0.001, like the dollar to the $100 bill.
right,
I think eventually that is going to be a big thing because it's the one that most people are
Yeah.
using, Bitcoin. So those are my top right now. I mean, there's more that I have that are little
right,
ones. Like I did want to share maybe one that's called
right,
ILV. This is a gaming token. So like I said, something that's going to be pushing cryptocurrency a lot in the future is the gaming community and the gaming world. Because these are the people, a lot of these people are the ones that are like the whales
right,
or the ones that hold Bitcoin is the people that are already at home and they're on their computer all day and they're gaming and interacting with online communities already. So definitely if you're looking to get into crypto and maybe you're like, okay, I already have Ethereum, I already have Bitcoin, I already have like some of these bigger ones. I want to get something new. I would definitely look into like gaming tokens, because you know, like I said, your your cousins are playing Roblox, and you're
right,
having
Yep.
like, you know, guns or whatever. I don't even play that game honestly. So like you're having to buy things on that game. Eventually, instead of buying with your Visa, you're just gonna be buying with your making transfers like in
Yeah.
tokens. So I do like gaming tokens because that's something that's gonna be really big. And I think help push this because like you said, probably like the 50, 60, 70-year olds, they're not really going to get into it. They might, I'm not
right,
saying they don't, but the majority
right,
don't. So it's going to be these newer generations that are coming that are
Yeah.
going to continue participating and just pushing the cryptocurrency market
Yeah.
more.
And I'm glad you brought up that point, because I am a firm believer, but the gas prices, those gas fees are outrageous. They have been for a while. I know they're working on it, but I love that Nick brought that up. He brought up
Yeah, Nick's
the
been
Ethereum.
going crazy, man. Shout out to Nick. He's been dropping a lot of gems in the
A lot of
comments, man.
Oh, XRP, yeah, I did forget.
XRP is another coin that I'm a firm believer in as well.
Right.
I think a lot of reservation towards it right now is with everything going on with their lawsuit. But they did just have a major dub in the lawsuit, so I think that is a big step in the right direction. And obviously, if they do move towards becoming regulated, I
Right.
think that would be a huge space. But we'll see. Or excuse me, like moving away from being regulated. But yeah, I think XRP is like Ripple. I think that's another blockchain that has a lot of potential. So I'm really glad that Nick brought that up. Shout out to Nick, man. He's really in here dropping some gems.
And I wanted to clarify something that he was talking about with gas fees, and just for people that may not know what that
Yeah,
is, it's like on the smart contracts, if you buy something, right, and sell something, there's like fees that they call
Right.
gas fees connected with them, right? So with Ethereum, they're just high, right? So if you sell something for $100 or something, and it costs $100 to do it, like
Right.
you don't want to be breaking even.
Doesn't add
You
up.
don't want it to cost too much for you to sell and make a profit in it. You know what I mean? But there's other cryptocurrencies and smart and blockchains that basically have smaller fees and they
Correct.
move faster, right?
absolutely.
So that's what he's talking about with those gas fees with
Yeah, the,
XRP. So,
people can think of gas fees as like resale
Right.
fees. Like for instance, StubHub, when
yeah,
you get hit with that, like you think it's gonna cost this, and then you get to that final screen and they show you that final price
Right.
after all those fees. It's like, bro, the ticket is $40. Why am I paying $120 in total? It's
right,
Right.
because
bro.
you
All
know
this transaction added up.
best way to think of it. Gas fees are like resale fees. Like it's outrageous. And on the Ethereum blockchain, those resale fees are outrageous. Like it's wild, But
Right. I mean, since we're talking about Bitcoin right now, what do you think though? Do you think Bitcoin is going to reach to 100K this year or maybe next year? What's your thoughts on that too? Like,
I mean, I think it's very possible, but I feel like Bitcoin is getting like a lot of promotion right now, right? If you hear it on the news, it's
right.
probably much promotion going on right now. Like there's a lot of people that are getting loans to get into it. So I mean, I feel like right now we're in the 50s. Maybe we get to like 55, 60 sometime here this month. And we'll probably go down a little bit. We'll probably go down a little bit. We'll probably be a little flatlining for a while. But it'll just depend on the current events around the
Right.
world, honestly.
yeah,
Before Bitcoin wasn't as impacted by like global news,
Right.
but now it's very similar patterns to like the stock market.
Right.
So like right now,
yep,
like, the stock market is like basically higher than it was in its peak in 2020.
Right.
Whenever so right now everything is like at all-time highs
Right.
yeah,
almost, like
Right.
the 100, the Nasdaq, right, with all the
Right.
tech, all of these stocks and stuff. They're also really high up right now, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum is about to hit up there as well. So anytime that goes up, I feel like emotion gets tied into it with like
Right.
everybody. So everybody's like, oh my God, it's going up, it's going up. Did I miss out?
Right.
Let me buy. And we get people emotionally getting into the market. And when that starts happening, too much money starts going, not too much money, but a lot of money starts
Right.
flowing in.
Oh yeah.
People want to start taking it out.
Right.
So if you're getting in right now, or if you're thinking of getting in right now, I would definitely just hold and not like get too emotional.
yeah,
But I hope that it hits 100 before
yeah,
the end of the year, I would say.
yeah. I
You
hope
know,
so.
I
And
hope
see, and just to add something to that point, Diamond, because it's a big point. Is people
Right.
always have the
Right.
conversation of like
Right.
when this year,
When.
next month.
Right.
The truth is, it's probably going to hit it at some point.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right, like you know what I mean. Sometimes we have to just kind of scale out to see
Right.
what the bigger picture is. It probably is, and maybe
Right.
it hits 1 million in our lifetime. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But if you scale out, you think about like how things move, and it's probably headed that direction. It's just always hard to find that win. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, any time's a good time to, you know.
I mean, this year will be great because I have just Mara options that follow Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin hit 100K, man, I would be,
Come
I'll
on,
be
man.
happy.
Come on, man. Come on,
Nick,
man.
Nick said, you know, Bitcoin is starting to pump again because of the halving. You know, if no one's familiar with that, you know, like Bitcoin is about to have, like, because obviously it's at the point where it's just outrageous, right? You know, like $50,000, like, you know, like who can get into that? But like, you know, once it halves, and that's going to change a lot of things. So I think that is gonna change everything. Like you said, Diamond, to your point, you know, like Mara, it's like you gonna ride that to the moon, baby.
Man, if Bitcoin hit 100K, I'll be good.
Right.
Everybody's waiting for the halving.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can look back at when that happened. The last, I think it was 4 years. Every 4 years, it definitely you see that spike up, but. I just feel like you never know. Like, I mean, obviously you can't compare Bitcoin to what was I think it was Luna. There was another cryptocurrency.
It was Luna.
The beginning. It hit it halving as well, and the price went. I don't think that's gonna happen with Bitcoin. I think it's definitely it's just gonna be after the halving. It's just gonna be even more scarce, right? Because halving is just gonna mean that Bitcoin is gonna be mined at a slower rate. So it's going to be harder for more Bitcoin to come into the market at what we have now. So, yeah, it's going to build more scarcity. And after the halving, and after it goes up, and after it goes back down again, I think it's going to take a while for Bitcoin to, I guess, go below like 10, for example. Like, you never know, though. You never know.
You never know. That's true.
I'm excited for the 100K. I'm definitely gonna celebrate when it's at 100K. I mean,
lunch is on Diamond. Lunch is on Diamond if it hits 100K. You know what I'm saying?
We taking a trip on Diamond.
Come on, man.
That's funny.
I'm ready for 9. I think that's the magic number.
Absolutely.
That's right.
69,000. Yeah, but don't be scared to get into crypto, guys. Start getting into it. Just be, I guess, not vigilant, but be aware and
do your research. Right.
Do research, man.
Do the research.
And think long term, man. You know what I mean? Do your research and think long term. That's
I think that's the best thing, is to think long term. Obviously, like I said, you can do short term. You can do, you know, you can start flipping your money, getting out every next. But before you get to that, you really have to just. At first, I would say the first thing to do is think of it as a long term.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And if it goes down, you know that in a couple years it's gonna go back up. So.
And one thing I want to add to that is, like, I feel like when it comes to investment, there's always risk, right? Like, every investment has risk associated with it. Because once you go into that with the mindset, because most of the time people just believe that, oh, once I invest, I'm going to start making money. It doesn't always work that way, right? Sometimes you can lose money. So be okay with that. And like Z said earlier, always invest money that you're comfortable with losing, because there's a possibility that whatever amount that you invest, the market doesn't always work in favor of you, right? It could go down, you could lose it all. So be comfortable and be okay. Don't bet your house, your rent money, your mortgage, or your wedding. If you know you're going to get married in August, don't spend that money on Bitcoin.
Chill out, man. Yeah, you might not be getting married in August. You know what I mean?
I mean, the smart investors will tell you, right? Like, the biggest thing about investing is having resolve. You know, like, you have to endure, you know, like the good and the bad, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like, we all would like to live in that perfect world where we buy at the bottom and we sell at the top. Everybody wants to be that, like, you know, but that's always going to be the case. You might invest, and like, literally, you could look in your account tomorrow and your investment is already down $100, and it's just like, see, this is why I don't invest, you know, like, see, this is exactly why I don't do it.
You guys
and then
figure it out.
And then all of a sudden, you know, like a year from now, it's just like, damn, if I stayed in, I would have made $2,000. And it's just like, you have to have resolve. You have to be able to endure certain things, and just understanding, to everyone's point that they've touched on, it's about the long game. You
Right.
know, it's about understanding that like this is the future. So the best time to get into it is right now.
Right.
There's no time like the present.
Exactly.
Anyone who knows me knows I am a person of right now. There's no yesterday. It's to now. That's the best
to
time
now.
to now. So
And
that's
the last thing I wanted to hit on is just what you said, Z. The biggest difference I think that people don't look at between like stuff like gambling and investing is that when you buy something in the investment world, you own something,
Right.
right? If you put $20 on the Nuggets game and the Nuggets lose, the $20 is gone, right? If you put $20 and you own, like, let's say, however many, 100 XRP or something like that, whether the price goes up or down, you still own 100 XRP.
yeah,
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So that's the biggest difference that I just try to tell people that's getting into investing is realizing that you're buying something and you're owning the actual thing, and that doesn't change. If you buy,
Right.
10 Bitcoin, no matter what the price of Bitcoin is, you own 10 Bitcoin.
Right.
So I always tell people that say like it's just like in gambling, it's not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just always look at that too for sure.
and
Right.
anyone who knows anything, ownership is everything, man. Ownership is everything in this world, especially if you want to accumulate wealth and chances. Ownership is key.
Absolutely.
So that being
Yeah.
said, Ellie, we thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge. And I'm sure if anyone wanted to reach out, she could be a great resource. She might have to charge you because, like, I'm like, look, she out there, but that being said, Ellie, do you
Yeah.
have any
No,
thoughts?
I was just like, DM me if you guys have any just random questions. I'll be glad to help answer you. And obviously, if I can't, then I'll lead you to a good source. But other than that, yeah, I mean, investing is risky. Not investing is
Right.
riskier.
Mm.
You think about what money you potentially lose, but how much money did you lose not taking the risk?
Right.
So sometimes just think of that risk, but think about every day that you're holding back from investing, whether it's in yourself, whether it's monetarily into your portfolio, stocks, crypto, real estate, any day that you hold back, like you're losing out on money.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely. Because
when losing is part of it. Losing is going to be part because with no, how do you, what's that saying? Oh my God, I forgot the saying. But yeah, losing is part of the game.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
we're gonna have this episode on YouTube and Spotify as well. So just kind of tell people where they can find you too. That's why I definitely
Oh,
wanted to have you say it on there.
so you can follow me on Instagram at elideth.helguera. So it's ELIDETH.HELGUERA. And
Okay.
that's where I like to just share, regular tips on finances and also health, because you could be the richest person in the world, but if you're on your deathbed, like what is all that money going to do to you?
Right.
Like
Exactly.
it can't buy you life. So I like to, some of the things that I like to say is freedom beyond money. Like money is the tool that'll get you to
Right.
things, but money is not. So like
Right.
financial freedom to you can be different than him. Right. For me, my financial freedom is being able to have a house for me, house for my family, all of our expenses paid,
Right.
and having that freedom to be able to travel. For somebody else, it just might be being able to pay off their house and pay off their kids' college
True.
education. Like time freedom for you. Like you don't have to have $1 billion to be able to say, "Oh, I'm free," right? Like
Right.
I'm a billionaire now. Now a lot of people don't get into those million or $1 billion amount to be able to have that freedom. So like define what is freedom for you, make it attainable, like figure out how much money you really need
Right.
to be able to live a free life, and then break it down, and that's how you can get to it, whether it's through real estate investing, crypto, or anything. Like there's a million ways to make money, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
one life for you. So take care of you, figure out what you want to do, what your future life really is, because maybe it's not a Lambo and a mansion. Like we're fit all these social media.
It is for diamond.
We're fed all these things through social media, and we think that we want it too. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's wrong, and I'm saying that you can
Right.
have it,
Right.
but then there's
Right.
that have all this, and then they're still committing
Right.
suicide or drugging themselves up and not even really living. And they already have all these things.
Right.
So that's just a little thing that you can find on my page.
Yep. Absolutely.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it
Ellie,
was.
It's true.
That
Health
was.
is wealth.
you're a real one. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. Like I said, thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge. It's been a pleasure having you. I think it's safe to say after this conversation that cryptocurrency is not a phase; it's the future. And so, therefore, that being said, invest now.
Invest now.
Do it now,
Do
not
it
yet,
now.
not tomorrow. Do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
877 cash now, baby. Now.
all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for having me. I
We
appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And
appreciate you tapping in, Ellie.
Yeah.
Y'all take care. Have a
All right,
thank you.
fellas.
Fellas, ladies.